Hi everyone, welcome to week 9 lecture 3. In this video I want to share my thoughts on some of the characteristics of corporate culture. I'm going to show you some of those characteristics, but when I say those, I'm not referring to all of them that are well documented in research literature, but some of them that I think they are important ones. They provide you with some aspects of what a corporate culture is and what are some of those characteristics. The third characteristic of corporate culture would be staff member identity. So the degree to which employees identify themselves within the organization rather than with their own individual expertise. So for example, organization becomes a more of importance for the employees rather than what they are achieved with that organization. When I say whether they achieved the number of years that they've been working for the organization, jobs that they hold, position that they hold. For example, Monash University staff and students were in Malaysia. They were calling themselves Monashians. So it's emphasizing that more of a pride of the organization. You belong to that institution, and that institution means something to you, but also means something within a business environment that they're operating within. So the next characteristic of corporate culture is called group emphasis. The degree to which workers are being basically formed some sort of groups and emphasize group work rather than individual one. Often seen is a collective cultures. We spoke about that in the last week lecture. Parts of the world like the Middle East and Asia, they are sometimes for short-term or long-term forms of departments, divisions, and so forth. They embrace a corporate culture nevertheless, but they still develop their own identity. So they share their unique way of talking to each other, embrace a certain way of addressing the particular issues, but nevertheless they are still see themselves as as a member of the big corporate culture. So it's like a subculture within a big dominant culture. Very often we hear organizations say we are people focused, but from time to time organization needs to lay off some of their workers. So if that the question becomes really, are they people focused? Now, the question how organization deals with that particular concept, how they retrain them, move them to other position with the organization, help them with the search for new jobs, basically defines how people focused they really are. Often organization will go even step further to make sure that people are trained, or they offer them job for the certain period of time until they are fully trained for another role in another industry, and itself shows their commitment to help them in their business endeavor or in this job search endeavor. To what extent they focus to help the people, their employees in their employment, life issues in order to overcome some of the personal issues could be examples of a people-focused organization. Example that often is mentioned when we talk about the organization that foster the people-focused philosophy is Google. So please do some of your own research and have a look at the example of how Google deals with the aspect of corporate culture. Unit integration. It's almost opposite to when we're talking about the individual roles with building the corporate culture. In this particular case, the departments are encouraged to operate in coordinated or interdependent manner. So, for example, accounting department, marketing department, HR departments, finance departments, they are pretty much encouraged to share the ideas and foster the same message to outside stakeholders in the sense of what is that corporate culture. So they need to share the ideas and how to make things easier. They got to share the inputs of how they do certain things in a way that simplify the operations within the organization in order to foster that interdependent relationship between the departments and basically encourage that work and unit integration among them. And there it comes, control as the form of organizational characteristic, organizational culture. Now, the degree to which employees are encouraged to be innovative and risk-seeking. Now, when organizations merge or when there is organization restructuring, when the new departments come along, a level of control becomes very important. Control is not always a bad thing, but It can be. Let us then look at when control can be a bad thing. Well, depends of the level of control. What is the level of control given to those people in charge of the various aspects of merger, new department establishment, and so forth? How long that control is going to last is another question to be asked. So there, as you can see, there is a lot of things that need to be addressed before the level of control is given to individuals, because over the length period of control, we know that the control basically limits the creativity and innovation, which all organizations need in order to move forward. So to who are the people they're going to be given that control, to which extent that control will be exercised, and how long that control will be assigned to the particular person are the questions that senior management and CEO needs to be very carefully assessing in order to not disrupt the organizational culture. And the last point for today's video is going to be looking into a risk tolerance. Well, the degree to which employees are encouraged to be innovative and risk seeking. Well, from organization point of view, they can either succeed or fail, but organization encourage calculated risk, which moves organization forward. So give staff responsibility in some way, but at the same time give them chance to take a risk when the situation itself comes along. Well, keep in mind at the same time that some staff will not want that kind of responsibility for the simple reason because they are not risk takers as one of their personal characteristics. There was some of the these were the some of the characteristics of the corporate culture. Now guys, with that I leave you until next video. Take care, stay safe.